Out of the 14 tracks that are on Invisible, there's only one cover song, and that is this one, Money, That's What I Want. An old track from Barrett Strong back in the day in the 60s. The Beatles did a great version of this tune, and there's others as well. And I took this tune and I sort of morphed it, made a little psychedelic. I put some loops and some program things with it, which I've done quite a bit on this record. I really like taking technology, loops, arpeggios, things like that, and adding acoustic instruments on top of them. I think it's a really fun way to just make music groovy and put those elements together. That's what I did with this tune. And the drums that I chose for this track are Tama's Star Maple drums. Tama's high-end drums, they spared no expense on these drums. The construction is fantastic. What makes these drums so special are the shells. They're 5 plies, 5mm stick, but in the center, the core is a 2mm solid wood core, and then they cross-laminate the plies on either side of that. So you get the punchiness and the brightness and attack of maple, but that solid wood core gives it the warmth and depth, even more than just a typical maple drum. Perfect edges, great hardware. These drums really sing. And since this song is sort of slow and groovy, I needed drums, especially the toms, that had a little bit of decay, some nice, breath to them that would go along with the bass and the strings, so you could really hear them stand out in the mix. On the toms, I have Remo coated ambassadors, a basic single ply head with clear ambassadors on the bottom of the toms, so great, just wide open tone. I do have one drum tack on the floor tom just to take away a tiny bit of the decay. On the kick drum, I have a Remo Power Stroke 3, tiny bit of dampening on the inside, so you get really punchy tone, but again, nice depth. The snare drum I have here is a really cool Tama snare drum. It's a Starphonic 6x14 aluminum snare drum. And with metal drums, the go-to head that I go to quite a bit here is Evans HD Dry. It works perfectly with metal drums. It just takes away some of the ping and the long decay of those drums, dries them up a little bit, but it doesn't make them dead either. So it's right in the middle and it's perfect for this drum. And this drum really goes well with the maple toms and kick drum. For the cymbals, I have a beautiful array of Sabian HHX legacy cymbals. Dave Weckel's signature cymbals. They're beautiful sounding, nice wash, very pristine. Just beautiful all the way around. 15-inch hats. I have an 18-inch crash, a 19-inch crash, and a 22-inch heavy ride. I do have a ProMark sizzler on the ride cymbal just to give it a little bit of sizzle. I'm hitting all of these drums and cymbals with the trusty Vic Firth 55A. Great wood tip on these sticks make the drums and the cymbals sing beautifully. Check out the sound of the toms real quick before I get into some of the grooves in this tune. The toms, I was talking about how wide open and just the ring that they have, but they're still warm and have the depth. Take a listen. Really cool. Nice, long sustain, but not too long, so it's not going to ring under the track and make rumble. Nice, wide open tone that's going to fit with the rest of the instruments beautifully. The thing about this song, as far as the playing is concerned, is that it's really simple because the loop that you hear at the beginning of the track goes through the whole song. It's really based around that loop. So my drum part has to fit that, not overtake it, not get too busy on top of it, but just add to it. So when you put the two together, you just get a funky, good grooving drum track. The key to the main pattern once the drums enter the song is the kick drum. It has just a repeating thing that goes like this. Boom, 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 boom. That's also in the loop. So I wanted to add to that loop. 16th notes on the hi-hat and just a nice backbeat of 2 and 4 on the snare drum. Sounds like this. What's cool about that, even though it's simple, when you play your kick drum and your snare, when they line up, they should line up exactly, no flams. A lot of time you play your grooves and your kick drum stops when you hit your snare drum. They're not playing at the same time. But this groove, they are playing at the same time. Now what you can do, and what I tried to do in the track to make it a little more spicy, is with your left hand, when you're not playing the backbeat, put a little buzz, a little ghost stroke, a little ghost note here and there, just to add a little bit of flavor to the groove, sort of like this. Again, just a little bit of flavor to add a little bit of spice to the groove. One final thing to mention about the drum groove and the groove of the tune. The last section of the song, there's actually 2 time signatures going on at the same time. The riff is in 6. Let me sing it for you and I'll count out the 6 in my fingers here. It goes boom, dum, 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 ba-dum. One more time. Boom, 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 ba-dum. That's in 6, but the drum part I'm playing stays in 4. It's a nice rollover between the 2 time signatures, and it all kind of builds towards the end of the progression because there's chords building each time around at the 6, and by the time you get to the end, you get a nice flourish right to the end of the tune. All right, everybody, that's the track Money. I hope you dig it. Let's check out the song now with everything going on.